Hi everybody, I'm here with John, who is one of our learner engagement officers, and this is part of our Virtual Freshers 2021, another one of our Meet the Team interviews. Hi John.
How you doing?
Not too bad. John, why don't you tell everybody a little bit about what it is that you do at the college?
Of course. So I'm John, that's Carlos. I'm one of the learner engagement officers. I'm based mainly in Arbroath campus, but we kind of move across all campuses, so we're very fluid in our role. My main focus and my main role for this year is to deliver the social education sessions across the college. So the stuff that scaffolds your academic delivery, not subject specific, but kind of just making you a more well-rounded person, a better communicator, a better part of your community, and developing your meta skills as well.
Great. And John, for students that maybe don't know what social education is, can you give an example of what these sessions might involve?
Yeah, of course. So some of the sessions we offer are very, very specific, focusing on certain aspects of social education. So for example, we have communication, we have team building, we have respect sessions where we focus on talking about people with different backgrounds and different diversities and how we can obviously understand them so we can be more respectful. We have learner stances, so looking at how you learn and how that interacts with you and your kind of student experience, and obviously how that affects your classmates. And we have things like conflicts, so how do you manage conflict management in a classroom. All these different sessions help you become a more well-rounded learner.
So they're really useful sessions for students to take part in.
Absolutely.
You're also involved with the DNA Alumni, which the learner engagement team has quite a big role to play. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, of course. So the DNA Alumni was a project which started last year by myself and Katie, who is our manager. I've kind of taken the project lead in that, so a bigger responsibility, but one I'm happy to do because it's a great project. It's basically a project that allows us to take people who have been at DNA college and have gone on to the local sector and been successful and kind of gaining employment, and how they can come back and support our current and future students in doing the same. You know, what kind of skills do they have, what did they develop in the college, what did they develop in the workplace, and how can they guys practice these so they become successful in their employment journey after they have successful time with us.
Great, so a really good chance for students to get involved with people in their industry and
Brilliant, exactly, yeah, to really develop their network as well, so they've got a good understanding of what they need to do to succeed.
Fantastic. Okay John, so what we're going to do is go on to the portion of the interview of getting to know you.
Okay.
What makes John tick?
This is where it all goes wrong.
So first of all John, it's a would you rather. Would you rather party in New York or camp out in the rainforest?
I would rather camp out in the rainforest. Yeah, I'm not much of a partier. Unfortunately, during my whole college and university, I didn't have one night out because I was busy doing like 3 or 4 jobs. But I do like being in nature. I don't get a chance to do it that often, unfortunately. But I'd much rather have a camp in the rainforest than go to party in New York.
Okay. I wouldn't. I don't like the bugs. But if you could get rid of the bugs, I'd be okay. Right. Would you rather be endlessly rich or immortal?
Well, that's a good one actually. Yeah, I mean that's difficult because I don't really value money like in terms of having lots of it, as long as I've got enough to be comfortable and happy. But I wouldn't want to live forever either, so that's a difficult one. I'm not sure. Yeah, maybe. I think I've just had a son recently. He's about 11 months this month, so I think maybe be immortal. Yeah, because I don't value money that much. As long as I have enough to be comfortable and happy, but I'd like to spend as much time with my son as possible. So I suppose that's changed my perspective on that question. Yeah, but that's a good one. I like that.
Cool. If you had a superpower, what would you think you would want it to be?
Heal. I'd like to be able to heal people. So I've had kind of a very fortunate life where I've not had many people close to me pass away or had many illnesses, but recently I had one and it's kind of very hard to deal with, so I'd like to be able to heal people because I think your health is the most important thing possible.
I love that answer. There's been so many people who think, oh, I want to be able to read minds or be invisible, and it's for probably quite selfish reasons. That's probably one of the least selfish responses we've had.
Okay.
Fantastic.
Okay. Well, I'd heal myself as well, of course.
Of course. Right, horror movies or action movies?
Definitely action movies. I'm a bit of a kind of, I don't want to say a wuss, but I really, really can't do horror movies. They freak me out. I've got a very overactive imagination, and it's not so much the horror movie, it's my imagination of what it is. So for example, it's the afterwards when I'm sitting in bed, I'm like, what's that noise? And I'm freaking out. And horror movies, for example, like the ones where you can't actually see something like Poltergeist, I make it to be the biggest monster in the world. So definitely for me, action movies.
Okay. Do you have a favourite action movie hero or an action film?
Without a doubt, Sylvester Stallone. I also watch the Rocky films, the Rambo, but not only that, in terms of his story about how he became an actor and how he had success, he went through a very tough upbringing, and I can relate to that quite a lot. So he's a kind of, not just a favourite action movie, somebody I look up to and have a kind of lot of respect for.
Okay, fantastic. Okay, and if there was one food that you had to eat forevermore, what would it be? Now I know this is going to be a hard one for you.
Okay, yeah, totally. So is it a cuisine or just one food item?
Oh, I'll give you a cuisine because it's you.
A cuisine, I'd probably go for Italian food, I'm being honest with you, because there's a lot of diversity, yeah. So my sports that I do quite a lot are like jiu-jitsu and kind of judo as well. They're very carbohydrate fueled. So pasta, perfect, and there's so much variety in pasta, and you can tie it to other cuisines with a lot of fusion. So probably pasta, yeah. Okay. Italian cuisine.
And one more. Online or face-to-face?
Face-to-face without a doubt, yeah. I'm a very big believer in having that human connection, and obviously it's a big part of my role. And whilst the learner engagement team were very good at transitioning to online learning and delivery throughout the pandemic, there's nothing that beats just a face-to-face session where you get to engage with people, get to see their pure emotions, they get to feed off you, and that's the best preferred method for me, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, and speaking of online, have you had any personal online mishaps?
No, I've actually been quite fortunate, to be fair. I'm usually quite prepared, so I think that's helped. I've had a few funny experiences. For example, I developed a game online where we did like a house treasure hunt to get people active and away from their cameras, to try and develop a bit of physical activity, because I'm very passionate about that. And one of the items I asked the students to bring to the camera was a toilet brush to get them to a different room. And unfortunately, one of the students brought back a toilet brush that was less than clean, shall we say, and it was a very embarrassing experience. So no personal mishaps, but some fun experiences.
Oh, that's a risky take.
Yes, definitely.
People in their houses. Okay. So John, is there anything else you think about your role that you do to support the students that you want to share?
Just kind of, obviously I deliver social education sessions and alumni there, but just getting students to feel comfortable, because I know for a lot of people college can be a daunting place, especially at this time of year where it's new, it's fresh, you don't really know everyone, you're kind of uncertain surroundings, especially after coming back with the pandemic. And it's just let them know there's a friendly face there, they come and see you, they come speak to you, have a game of pool with you, just relax and get to know them on their level. We are human beings at the end of the day, and it can sometimes be scary to view a member of staff as a human being, but when you do, they're going through the same experience as you, they've just been there before, so they know what to expect and they can help you on that journey. So I think that's an important part of my role, and an important part of all our roles at the college.
Great. What I would say though is there's a proviso in that if you play them at pool, John will not let you win.
No, you won't win. No, that's guaranteed. You're not going to win.
He's very welcoming and he's very open and he's loved to play, but he will not let you win.
There's no mercy on the pool table, no.
Okay, right, last question, John. Just think back to when you were a student.
Okay,
and if you were your younger self coming back to college now, what advice do you think you'd give yourself to keep motivated and involved?
Very easy. I was a nightmare of a student. If I think back having a session and I think of some of the students that gave me a difficult time, I was that student. I questioned everything. I was very difficult. I was very difficult to convince about certain things. And I know that the sports team, when they were lecturing me, specifically maybe Chris Simpson, for example, we had lots of arguments and he was always right. I just didn't believe he was right until I'd done research myself. So just be open to learning. That's the biggest piece of advice to give. Listen. Yes, it's good to ask questions, but when you're given an appropriate answer, take that on board and receive it and learn to put it in your learning. So be open to learning.
Great, that's some good advice there. John, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you very much for the interview.
Thanks.
It was good fun.
Thanks for watching, guys. Bye bye.
Thank you. Take care, guys. All the best.